like a lot of other Americans and me, you are in consumer debt. 80% of Americans are in at least $38,000 in debt. Um, Personally, I've been dragging it around for far too long. I'm going to be building my debt snowball today so that I can have a plan moving forward into the next year to pay off all of my debt. If you are interested in learning how to build a debt snowball, come along with me. I'll share my screen as I show you all my debt, which is pretty shameful. We're up to $530,000. We have a lot to pay off, but I'll show you how I plan to do that.
The first step you need to start with is compiling all of your debt into a list. You need to list everything from lowest balance down to the highest balance. Also get a record of your interest rates and your payments. I have compiled everything on a Google Doc because this is where I laid out all of my thoughts in my whole plan. And I've got 26 laid out here, everything that I need to do to take care of this high of a debt, because I'm going to try to take care of $322,000 this year. So after you have everything figured out, calculated, I go to a site that I like called financialmentor.com. It's a free site. They have a lot of calculators here. If you scroll down to their calculator section, the very bottom of it, here it says credit card and debt payoff calculators. Their second option is a debt snowball calculator. You click on that and it'll take you to this page, which would normally be blank. I started filling mine out because I had a lot to put in here. It's very, very quick to complete though. You put in each of your debts, your balance owed, interest rate, and the payment amount. And it calculates how much interest you're going to pay if you continue with the payment schedule as planned. Then you work through each debt, fill them in here. Come down to this little box right here. You can enter a dollar amount after you've worked through your budget and figured out how much extra you can throw towards your debt every month, which I've got a lot of debt, but I also have quite a bit of income and extra income. So I have $6,500 a month that I can add to this snowball. So I'm going to calculate my snowball. Here in between this graph that they compile for you, there are some pieces of information that are great to know, very motivating. So my current total balance owed is over $322,000. Interest is going to cost me almost $135,000 if I make everything in the 200 payments that are scheduled out. My if I do this snowball with adding at least $6,500 a month, which I think I can even add more, but I'm keeping it, reasonable at least, conservative, I guess. The interest would only cost me $27,500 only, and 33 payments to pay all this off. The interest would cost me just over save me $107,000. I would save 167 payments. This is what I really like about this calculator. They give you a graph here where you have your first snowball payment here. This is loan number 1. This is my car. So month number 1, I would pay $7,200 to it. Pay the minimums on all of the other balances. Second month, $7,200. Third month, $4,145, and then I would work the remainder into the second loan, which for me is a truck. And then you work down through each month, paying the most on your next debt while paying the minimums on the others, and just carry that through until the snowball has really built up to a nice big payment. Because here when we get down to the end, we're sending over $10,000 to our last debt. So it really knocks out that last debt really fast. You can print this out and have a little graph that shows you your plan for your payoff. Mark it off as you go, and it's very, very motivating. I'll drop a link to this Financial Mentor calculator in the description below. Now that you've completed your debt snowball, you can go forward with working this plan. Pay as much as you can every single month towards that debt, and
find your way to financial freedom. If you want an accountability partner, come back to this channel. You'll see me work through the year of paying down this debt. I also have an eBay store where I thrift things and flip them for profit online. So there will be some reselling content, and this debt is just going to shrink so fast. If you have the motivation and discipline to work through your debt, you can shrink it just as fast as I can. Let's do it together.